Okay.
Wait a minute, I'm not.
I know, I told him to not wear that hat, and he won't listen to me.
You don't even let me sit down.
I know. Okay, so.
I said, wait, give me like a second. I got, okay,
Well, all right, I am going to tell you guys how our rescue works in terms of intaking dogs, because it really is a constant struggle with him. And here's how this happens. You know, he has this spreadsheet that he looks at probably 50,000 times a day.
a very accurate spreadsheet.
Yeah.
That I put together.
Yeah. Well, it tells me how many dogs I have, how many males, how many females, how many are available for adoption, how many are medical. And he basically tells me how many dogs I can pull for the month. Well, I don't really listen to that. I know I need to, but I don't. So this one particular time, and it's actually happening.
One time?
No, it happens
every time we have an intake.
Every month. But this particular time stands out in my head because it's hilarious. So we're at an adoption event, and I had dogs coming in, but I never told them I had dogs coming in. So we're in the middle of the event, and I'm looking at my watch, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got dogs, I gotta go meet them. I think it was only like 7 or 8 dogs, so it wasn't like a huge load, but he knew nothing about it, so I couldn't stop in the middle of the event and say, hey, I gotta go get some dogs. So I was like, oh, I forgot I had to do something, and I dashed out of there. I said, I'll be back in an hour.
I think it was a lot more than 8 dogs.
I don't think it was.
It was about 23 dogs.
Oh.
And that's the problem. Every time we do an intake, I'll ask her, how many dogs are we taking in? 6 or 7.
Well, because he gets mad.
But then I say, well, no, wait a minute. So she goes, 6 or 7. And I said, how many dogs, I've learned this, how many dogs are actually getting off that truck that's being delivered? 25. Well, how could it be 6 and then 25? Well, I have Fosters and I have this one. No, give me a real, how many bodies are getting off of that truck at any one time?
Well, so at that particular time, I ran out of there. I went and got all the dogs, and instead of fessing up to what I did, I started driving around to everybody's houses, like calling them on the phone going, oh my gosh, I got way too many dogs. They told him I was going to take this many, and then I ended up with this many, and he doesn't even know that these are arriving today. And I was in a panic, going to everybody's house going, oh, just take this one for a couple days. And I delivered quite a few of them, and then hurried back, got the other ones settled back at the rescue, and then came back to the adoption event. And he's like, where'd you go?
Somehow, some way, as much as that drives me crazy. Now I know how many dogs we're taking on intake, because I usually find out on Facebook after she leaves for work in the morning.
Yeah. That used to be my secret. I put it on Facebook to try to get anybody who had an available foster home to come pick up the dogs before he would see them. And then he started catching on that the real number of what was coming in had not only the number, but the actual pictures of the dogs, because I can't get them in foster care without pictures. So he started going to Facebook, and I just, darn, so now that cover's blown, but I've got other things that I do to try to keep him from figuring it out. But on a positive note, as much as I hate that he does that to me, it really does help me, and he might not believe this, but it does help me control it, because I get these euthanasia lists. One dog is cuter than the next and I just can't, it's so hard for me to say no.
And as much as it drives me crazy, and as much as it irritates me that I can never figure out truly how many dogs are showing up here at the property, I would be a lot crankier if we couldn't get these adopted dogs out, or these dogs adopted out. And trust me when I tell you, there's something about her ability to pull dogs that are highly adoptable that walk in here all the time, and I think we're going to get saddled with this dog for eons, and somehow, some way, all of these dogs find home. So I always reserve the right to be a lot crankier in the future, as long as we figure out a way to get adopted, and she's really good at picking those dogs. So
yes, I am. Yes, I am. So that's kind of how we do it.
We do it.
Shut that mouth.